that's good as well if you give yourself a bit of a time limit, because we can all be like, oh, we've got 6 months to do this thing, but it's going to get left up until the last week because you've got 6 months to do it, or because you've got a week to do it. We've all been there.
We need deadlines.
We need deadlines in our life.
Yeah. But no, I've started going through the new course now as well. So that's exciting. I like how you've changed it, and it just, refreshes my mind as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
We're actually in the process right now of like looking into it again and seeing how we can make it better. It's literally every sort of 2-3 months we're like, right guys, let's look at the feedback that we've got and let's kind of change things, pivot things, because like you say, you have to, you're not going to get it right the first time. You're not going to get your target market right the first time. You're not going to get your branding right the first time.
And things out there change all the time. I mean, things have changed quite a lot even since I started a year ago. Instagram changes their things all the time. There's always new things to learn. And some things which you think might work for your business, you kind of do them for a little while and you think, oh, I don't like it, or I don't want to do that anymore. And then you kind of have to move on to something else and try different stuff. So it's experimenting as well.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to A/B test things. Like if you've got one listing, whether it's on Etsy, website, whatever, a lot of the things that I teach apply to your website as well. It's not just Etsy as applied to. But if you want to test things and you want to test, right, okay, I'm gonna have a blue background for my pictures as opposed to a pink one, let's see which one does better. If you want to go onto your Instagram and be like, which do you prefer, A or B style of earring, or of box or of packaging, you've got to be I think businesses die because they don't change, and they don't change according to what feedback they get.
Yeah, it's definitely important to do that. And I love all the polls on Instagram that you can do, because it just gives you an insight into what people are thinking instantly. You don't have to wait 3 months and see, oh, is this working? It's literally instant.
And that's right.
Which is nice. Yeah, definitely.
Also great when you think you know what the answer is going to be.
Yes,
it comes out different.
True.
Like,
yeah. Oh. Well, I really like that. But no, no one else does.
What's one piece of advice you would give to you a year ago? If you could travel back and whisper in the year of you, what would you say?
I would just say to trust your gut, because you get a lot of information or opinions from lots of people, family, friends, online, and a lot of the time you second guess yourself. But I think you should just go with your gut and do what you think is right for you, not just in general business wise, but also like down to the nitty-gritty products and things like that. Like just certain products that are made and other people were like, oh my God, that is disgusting, and it became like a bestseller. So it doesn't always matter what other people say. Just go with your gut, and
your gut will see you right. So many people are like, well, I think I should do that, but people are telling me to do this, so I'm going to do this, and usually within like six months they've stopped that and they've gone back to what they
were going to do. Yes. Yeah. And also just perseverance, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something where you wake up one morning and suddenly you've got like, a 6-figure business. It does take time and patience.
Yeah. And I think as well, like it's such a journey, like you discover more about yourself as a person when you're self-employed, when you have a business, because you have to know how you learn, you have to know how you work, you have to like ID the signs of you getting off track and getting yourself back on track. Whereas when you're in like a 9 to 5, you're told what to do, you're told when to do it. It's very tricky.
It is tricky, and you're building it up literally from nothing, from the ground up. So it's just figuring out just what you need, what space you need. Just like the space in my little craft room has changed so much, and you're just learning all the time and changing all the time. So you've got to give yourself a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And also if you've got a family as well, like I've got 2 kids, I can't just be working 24/7. I've got to be patient and just do what I can in the few hours that I can and make the best of it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And you've just got to use your time to the best that you can.
Yes.
Because
hence the polymer clay as well, because that is a very good use of time, whereas doing a beaded pair of earrings takes a few hours. But
it's like we chatted before this, and we were talking about looking at X, how long it takes you to make it, and what you get Y for that thing, and then it's looking at that and saying, right, how much do I pay myself out of that? What's my fees? What's all that kind of good stuff. And then looking at how you can change the process in one way, shape or form, to make it better for you. So a lot of people start off and they're like, well, I knit scarves, like how the heck am I supposed to streamline that? But there's always a way, there's always an angle on it. You have to think outside the box, but there's always a way to make it
streamline it. Definitely. And then you figure it all out eventually. And like I say, it doesn't happen overnight, but now that you've got a little bit more experience and you kind of know what works, you still got to tweak it all the time, because there's always a way to batch things, or to make things in batches, packaging in batches. You just learn all these things as you go, but because it's got to work business wise, it's got to be a profitable, viable business. So as much as I love doing the beads and I could just sit there all day, it's just not a good business model. So I had to just seriously think about that as well. So, but no, I think I've got to a good place now, and obviously I love what I do, so that's good.
And it's like, although you might love making something, you're a business as well. If you want to be a hobbyist, that's fine, but 99.9% of the people watching this are going to want to make a business, and it's like you have to be like, right, what is going to make the money that I need to make to grow and pay myself a wage? You've always got to think about those two things. You've got to find a way to work smart and try and just make the most out of the few hours that you've got. And that is what I'm working on at the moment. So for the last few months, my husband's helping me, and to try and just streamline everything, look at the data. He's very data driven and I'm very winging it. So he will like phase 3 then, because that's where that massive data sheet is. That you fill out. So I bet he'll be all over that.
He will be, yes. When I told him there's like data sheets and KPIs, he got very excited.
Oh, KPI. It's a dirty word, that, isn't it? That's why I call it data sheet, so it's not as scary, but it's basically KPIs.
KPIs. It gets me hot and bothered, but not for the right reasons.
Hey boss, did you enjoy our mini episode? You can catch the full episode on your favourite podcast app or watch it on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing conversations coming your way soon.